Hi, my name is Javier and I'll be doing our group reflection. So for our group project, we are tasked to forecast the FX rate on the 1st of December on Aussie dollars and US dollars. So what we did was one part of the project that we did was to actually research on the macroeconomics level, mainly speaking the trade wars and the Federal rate recent meeting. That being said, from that I feel like we have this skill that we are able to find out what's the related news that actually affects the FX rate. Um, so that being said, that how you translate to a skill that is transferable to the business analyst role is that we are able to conduct our market research or macro research effectively and to know what is the cause and effect of the news that is going around in the world. Another point to take is that we are able to communicate effectively, distributing the work on a priority level to see what needs to be focused on and what not to be focused on. And we also look at our individual team members' strengths and weaknesses, mainly speaking, who is more comfortable in which topic and how we should supposed to be distributing the work in a way that it's more effectively and it's more easier for each team member to handle the task. So with that, I feel that as a team, this skill, communication skills and teamwork skills, prioritizing, time management, it's all transferable and it's more effective for the business analyst role at Nike as well. So we are able to um, handle situation where there's a tight deadline and we need to prioritize what's the job scope, what's the work that is needed to be done, so as to meet the goal of to meet the objective basically.
Hi, my name is Huai Min. From the report that we have done for international finance, I'm more exposed to Australian dollar and the US dollar. They are the fifth and first most traded currency in the world. We have also kept a lookout on the exchange rate for both currency and also analyzed the history of Australian dollar and the US dollar and studied both governments' policy of both countries that will impact the world economy. We found about the five factors in partial supply and demand model. First, relative interest rate. RBA reduced its interest rate over the years while Federal Reserve of the US increased their interest rate in 2016 and overtake Australia. With a higher interest rate, there will be more investment and also a higher return, meaning that Australia with a decreasing rate will have a lower demand. So in this case, the US dollar will appreciate against the Australian dollar. Second point, relative inflation rate. Australia inflation rate was always higher than the US until 2016 when the US increased their inflation rate. Third point, relative growth rate. The growth of Australian real GDP is rather constant over the past 10 years. Fourth, the roles of the government, whether if they are using the floating exchange rate or the fixed exchange rate. Australia is using the floating exchange rate. And lastly, expectation. What was the expectation of the country, whether their economy will improve in the next few years? All these factors will impact on the economy, but of course there's some political reason and events such as the trade war between China and the US might impact the economy as well. In this project, I was focused on interest rate parity by using the relationship between the interest rate and the spot forward currency value of both countries. Interest rate parity will not allow me to gain any profit as this situation means that there is no opportunity for arbitrage. However, using forward contracts will allow me and my company that to protect ourselves from any exchange rate risk should the currency depreciate in the near future. Hence, This knowledge will be an advantage for me and in helping Nike to increase their revenue and further improve Nike's financial position.
Hi, I'm Feng, and today I will be sharing on how I'm qualified for the senior analyst position in Nike. I will be covering learning pointers of a project that I have recently completed. This project is regarding forecasting of exchange rate of Aussie dollar against US dollar at the end of the year. I have considered a few different theories and calculations to derive on my speculations. On the calculation part, first, I have applied purchasing power parity theory, where I take into account current prices and inflation rate. Secondly, cover interest rate parity theory, which I take into account interest rate and spot forward rate of both countries. Lastly, using a theoretical model that I have created myself, taking into consideration variables such as gross domestic product, balance of trade, interest rate, and producer price theory. I believe such calculations are the basic skills that is required for any financial analyst. Furthermore, I have looked into current affairs and economic data that will affect future exchange rates. Based on my research, the current outlook of Australia's economy is not positive. With high external debt and growing trade deficits, Australia's economy is likely to slow down despite attempts to cut interest rates to stimulate expenditures in the domestic economy. On the other hand, United States are looking promising with sustainable growth rate recently, and recent news of interest rate growth will be encouraging capital inflows. Although trade war between China and US have yet to come to a conclusion, US is likely to be at a favorable positions with China set to accommodative in the deal. To sum it up, my calculations are pointing that USD will be appreciating against Australian dollar, with the forecast to be 1.4347 on 1st December 2019. I hope this short summary will provide you with insight of my technical skills for a qualified financial analyst as well as the soft skill required. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Javier, and I will be doing my individual reflection on the report. So the goal of the report was to actually forecast the FX rate of Aussie dollars and US dollars on the 1st of December. What I've done for the report is basically doing a research on the PPP and trying to explain how it's able to forecast the FX rate in December. During my when I was working on this project, I faced a few obstacles, I would say, or challenges to really understand what is PPP and how it actually explains and forecasts the interest rate, the FX rate. So I did a few research, and actually this research actually helps me in understanding more about PPP, and also it actually shows that I am able to research on things that is needed to be to so that I can achieve my objective for the report. Another part that I done for the project was to do up the theoretical model to forecast the FX rate. So in order to do that, I have to think of different variables to be included into the equation. And in order for me to do that, I have to have a good foundation of what is the variable that is required. For example, like the PPI, CPI, trade of balance, or GDP for the past year, or the average for the year. So with that, I feel that my skills of analyzing and comfortable with the numbers and calculating the equations is very much relatable to the business finance role, and actually that should help me to forecast the FX rate, and also to show that I am very comfortable with numbers.